The United States Postal Service hates comic books. Stay tuned to this video and I'll tell you why I think that. How you guys doing? Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my videos. In this video, we are going to talk about the fact that the United States Postal Service hates comic books. Now you might be thinking, why do I think that? I think that because this arrived today. Can you see that? This arrived on my doorstep today. If you saw my last video, well, it's probably 2 videos ago, about the appearance of the black costume prior to the publication in Amazing Spider-Man 252. You know from that video that I've been trying to pull together all of these books that feature the black costume before 252. And I was missing 2 books from all of those that appeared. And the day after I uploaded that video to YouTube, I received a notification in email that very next morning at 5 o'clock in the morning that one of the books on my list had been identified. And I was super excited, immediately bought the book, and it was probably only a couple of bucks, bought the book, and it arrived today. Unfortunately, somewhere along the process of this book being shipped from Texas to California, someone in the postal department decided to play a game with my comic, and this thing literally arrived just smashed up today. And I was hopeful that the book was undamaged, but given the condition of the box, it was a foregone conclusion that the book was going to be damaged. So sure enough, when I broke the book out, the book essentially looked just like the box. This book was the comic reader, I can't even remember, I think it's 215 or something like that. This was, again, one of those books that I was missing. Couldn't find this book anywhere. Finally found it on, what was this? mycomicshop.com, I think is where I purchased it. I've bought from these guys before. I've bought some pretty expensive books from them, to be honest with you. Always had, nothing but great experiences with them. They know how to package comics. There was no need to send them a message in to ask them to package the book a different way, because they always do. But again, even when the best laid plans are made, things happen. So this is the book, the comic reader, and it still looks pretty good until you look at it from the side view or look really closely at the spine. But it is definitely damaged. So I'm attempting to see what my comic shop wants to do, whether they're going to be able to give me a refund for it. I'll maybe try to get the book pressed to see if I can fix it. The reality is that this book isn't worth a lot, but it was a book that I wanted because, again, I'm trying to pick up all of these early appearances of the black costume before 252. So before I end this video, I want to call out a couple of things. I want to call out the sword that I think that's, I don't know who that is, White Samurai, that he's holding there. And I wanted to use this as an opportunity to show something that Comics with Bueller asked me to show. You guys know that I'm a professional bodybuilder. I don't compete anymore, but I am a professional bodybuilder. I do something called, or did something called, Men's Physique. And Comics with Bueller was on my channel, and he took a look at some of my contest footage from when I won a show, I think it was at the end of 2016. And in that show, I actually received a sword as part of my winnings. And so he asked me if I still had the sword, and asked if I would show the sword on camera. Now, if you guys know Comics with Bueller, he has some very unorthodox videos that he does, and they're incredibly creative. He has a woman that does American Sign Language in his videos for those that are I think hearing impaired, where they can actually understand what he's saying because she's doing sign language at the same time as he's doing his haul videos. And he does, he does some green screen stuff, which I think is pretty cool. And in some of his videos, he actually uses a very large sword to open comic book boxes. So of course, he would notice this video, and of course, he would ask me to showcase this thing, but I wanted to do it because he's a good guy and I love his channel. So here it is. Here is my first place sword. I don't know, this thing's pretty big. I mean, it's a pretty large sword. If you set it on the ground, it's a pretty hefty sword. And if you look here, it actually says GNC 2016 IFBB Titans Grand Prix Pro Master Physique first place. That is actually inscribed on the sword right there. You can see it's a little dirty, but this is the sword. It's actually pretty cool. And this is something that I've only really seen awarded at the IFBB level, specifically at contests that are actually held in the state of California. So one of my big things was, of course, to win a pro show, and I did. But I also really wanted a sword, and lo and behold, they actually brought this sword out to me. So it's very cool. I'm actually going to try to insert a link to the show, to the same video that Comics with Bueller watched when he asked me to bring this thing out. So anyway, thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video. I will definitely keep you guys posted on what happens with this book. I still have my hopes on finding another copy of this, and also finding the last book that I'm missing. If you haven't seen the video that I did on the pre-ASM 252 appearance of the black costume, I encourage you to check it out. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I certainly encourage you to do that. And hopefully you enjoyed this content. Take care.